While the circus burns elsewhere, we focus on Rafilla. The girl is in her room writing that charming letter to the prince. You know how teenagers are. She's venting about the medieval torture of being forced to behave like a society lady. She complains about everything, says it's boring, but deep down she already knows the answer. The prince with his good guy face will say it's all for her own good, classic. But just to be sure, she ends the letter saying she misses him terribly and hopes he'll show up soon. And wouldn't you know it, Gadil the prince receives the letter. The boy reads the complaints and gives a sly little smile. Young love is beautiful or just convenient, we'll find out now. Cut the scene and let's get to what matters, medical action. We are in the kingdom's church, which has practically become a field hospital. Our protagonist Helen is in Dr. House mode, examining an endless line of patients. Everyone is sick, colds, high fever, that barking cough. Helen, super professional, starts questioning the parents. Was the child coughing before? When did it start? The parents confirm everything. With the diagnosis on the tip of her tongue and the treatment ready, Helen tells the parents she'll need to isolate the boy in a private room. The parents immediately panic. My God, will he be okay? Where's that miraculous medicine everyone talks about? Helen, keeping her calm, asks her father Robin for help. He hands her the medicine, and Helen begins a practical lesson. She takes 2 pills, divides them into 3 parts, and explains exactly how to administer them to the parents. But wait, there's a sanitary plot twist. She warns that no one can leave. They have to stay quarantined in the church for 3 days or the virus will spread like gossip in a small town. The parents, seeing that the girl, despite being small, is very capable and has natural authority, agree and leave their son in her hand. Then the head nun arrives to boost morale, telling the parents, you're incredibly lucky, you know. The princess herself is personally taking care of your son. Helen almost buries her face in the ground with embarrassment and tries to correct her. People, I'm not the princess, stop it. But the nun insists and drops the bomb. The people have already nicknamed her the healing princess. She turns red as a tomato, wishing she could disappear. Work done, she says goodbye and leaves with Robert and her uncle. Night falls, the atmosphere grows darker. In a random inn, the father of that sick boy is talking to a mysterious hooded figure. The topic, the miraculous medicine. The father is amazed, saying the stuff is blessed by spirits and that the powerful Van Ravi family and the hero Robin are behind its creation. The camera pans and reveals the identity of the hooded figure, Yumi, a royal court healer. He returns to the castle and goes straight to Rabasol. Rabasol, already aware of the man's intentions, says, I saw your report. You want to investigate the Van Rave medicine, don't you? Yumi tries to argue, saying it's vital to combat the epidemic. The king cuts him off and gives him the real talk. I know you want this medicine for your sick mother, buddy. Don't try to fool me. Yumi looks embarrassed, but the king smiles and lets him speak. Yumi admits he has a personal interest, yes, but plays the political card. Look, merchants are desperate for this medicine. If we, the official court healers, stay out of it, the people will lose confidence in us. King Rabasol ponders. The people's trust is strong currency. He ends up allowing the investigation but makes it clear. I'm only allowing it because you're a prodigy spiritual mage for your age, but be careful. The Van Rave family is a royal favorite. Don't cause trouble. Yumi accepts the conditions and leaves, but a nagging thought bothers him. King's smile wasn't normal. He feels he's got into a deeper hole than he imagined, and I'll tell you, my friend, he's absolutely right. As soon as Yumi leaves, the king calls for his son Gadil. The father asks, so son, still exchanging letters with Subal's daughter? Gadil confirms, somewhat embarrassed, saying she responds occasionally. We know it's a lie, she always responds. King then drops the gossip of the century. It seems the Van Raves hired a brilliant chemist, and rumors say it's the spirit princess herself who's making the remedy. Gadil's eyes light up, thinking of Helen. The ship is real, folks. Meanwhile, at the Van Rave mansion, chaos reigns. Lawrence, who manages the lands, arrives with terrible news. Medical tourism has increased by 30% in just the last month. Result, medicine stock is depleted. The demand is so high that people are literally fighting over a pill. Helen, with her modern executive mind in a child's body, proposes a solution. Let's implement a triage system. Her father Rovel is baffled. Triage, what's that? She explains. It's simple, Dad. We treat those who are worse first. Children, pregnant women, seriously injured, and people with low immunity go first. The rest wait. The adults are stunned. Genius. How did we not think of this before? They start praising Helen nonstop. She feels a little sad, thinking, gee, I'm just using basic knowledge from Earth. I'm no genius. I'm stealing my ancestors' merits. But her father, always her biggest fan, cuts through that bad vibe. Daughter, you learned and applied it. Your ancestors would be proud of this, and gives her a bear hug. Then Uncle Subal enters the room and sees the scene. Robbie, you spoil this girl too much. Robbie, who doesn't take insults lightly, retorts instantly. Says the guy who doesn't even care about his own daughter. The atmosphere thickens. Subal remembers trying to talk to Rafilla but was ignored and gave up, thinking it was just a rebellious phase. Robbie gives him the real truth. She's angry because you ignore her, you fool. Subal realizes that maybe, just maybe, he's an absent father. Back to business, Subal warns that public safety is plummeting with so many people invading their lands looking for a cure. Everyone looks at Helen. Me, do I look like someone who knows how to solve a security crisis? Lawrence runs off. Subal explains, my dear, there are rumors that the Van Rave princess is distributing medicine. You've become a kidnapping target, got it? We need bodyguards yesterday. At that moment, Lawrence returns with reinforcement, Alberto and his son Kai. She is startled because she thought Alberto was a confirmed bachelor addicted to work. Kai, who is almost 13, introduces himself formally, looking like a mini-adult. I've heard my father talk a lot about you, about how you saved him. I will give my life to protect you." Helen gets nervous with so much devotion, but Robert, being the overprotective and jealous father he is, raises his hand. Wait, one human is not enough. It's time for the other guy to appear. Out of nowhere, a dimensional portal opens in the middle of the room, and who comes out? Van, the giant wolf spirit. Subal almost has a heart attack. "Are you crazy? A monster that size will cause panic in the city." Van, with all his ancient calm, says, "Relax, uncle," and boom, he transforms into a human form, and not just any human. He's an 8 o'clock soap opera heartthrob, handsome, hair flowing. Helen's jaw drops. "Whoa, Van, you look great." The spirit becomes all smug. Kai, seeing he's lost his position as the handsome one in the room, scowls and immediately starts a rivalry. "Big deal, I'm awesome too." The two start staring at each other like a schoolyard fight. Robbie, seeing that testosterone dispute around his daughter, immediately cuts them off. "You want to know something? No one's marrying her. The only guard here will be me." Helen just rolls her eyes. "Dad, less drama, please." Changing scenery, we see Gadil disguised as Gadis and Yumi traveling. Yumi tries to be friendly, but Gadil cuts him off curtly. The royal guards get angry at the disrespect, but Gadil calms them down. "Relax, everyone, the man's spirit is freezing with me, that's why he's nervous. And remember, I'm Gadis now, no, your highness stuff." Yumi, trying to hide his fear, comments on the environment. "The air here is incredible. Wind spirits are purifying everything, preventing the disease from spreading. But my spirit is panicking because there's an absurdly powerful spirit nearby. They suspect a spirit created the medicine." Gadil deep down knows Helen has a hand in this and is dying to see her, even knowing it's dangerous. The next day we return to Rafilla. The girl is in a bad mood, apathetic, but as soon as Gadil's letter arrives, her mood changes drastically. The maid tries to advise her. "Miss, you can't call the prince by his name." Rafilla, in the height of teenage angst, tells the poor woman to shut up and leave. She reads the letter and gets all giddy. Meanwhile, Helen is curious about Kai's family and his mother. Uncle Subal replies, "Alberto's wife is an iron woman, she trusted him completely." Kai blushes with embarrassment at the description of his mother. Helen thinks it's great, she seems like the ideal woman for Alberto. Kai, all excited, promises to introduce his mother to Helen. At this moment, Robert and Van's spider sense of jealousy goes off. They enter combat mode. No one's taking her to anyone's house. Helen has to intervene again. "Dad, stop it, how embarrassing." Later in the church, Van tells Helen he's going for a walk to check the perimeter. Helen stays with the nuns and receives news. The triage system is working, but people are annoying. "I arrived first, I want my medicine now." Pressure is intense. Helen, with a soft heart, wants to make more medicine. Her father, Robert, worries about her health. Spending mana is tiring, right? But he eventually gives in. "Okay, but don't overdo it." Van returns to the Van Rave mansion, literally entering as if he owns the place. The maids, who must have ninja training, immediately pull out knives and brooms to fight. Robbie yells, "Calm down, it's a friendly spirit." Van transforms into his heartthrob version, and instantly the maids put away their weapons, their eyes full of hearts. The creature's charm is dangerous. Lawrence welcomes Helen with a party. Subal, trying to mend his relationship with his daughter, asks them to tell Rafilla and his wife Arya that he'll be home for dinner tonight. Lawrence praises the initiative. It seemed like it would be a peaceful family dinner, but no. They are all having tea, the atmosphere calm, when a maid rushes in pale. "Lord Subal, Miss Rafilla, she's gone." The silence in the room is deafening. The maid continues, "I searched the entire property, no one can find her." Subal rushes out desperately looking for her. When Subal screams that she is missing, then the mother's realization dawns and panic sets in. The scene cuts to the office. Subal is devastated, feeling like the worst father in the world, and rightly so. "It's my fault." Suddenly, Van, who had been quiet in the corner, opens the window. He starts sniffing the air, his ears twitch. He hears something no human could hear, distant voices, criminals talking. "To get the secret of the Van Rave medicine, we need the girl." Helen hears Van's report and feels a chill down her spine. Her heart tightens. She realizes immediately what happened. The bandits wanted to kidnap the Van Rave princess, her Helen, but ended up taking Rafilla by mistake, thinking the noble's daughter was the creator of the remedy. The weight of guilt falls on Helen's shoulders. Her cousin was taken because of her fame, and now what will happen? The circus is set, the family is in a panic, and the villains have the wrong girl. And in this atmosphere of absurd tension, we end for today. What a situation, huh? They kidnapped the cousin, thinking it was the protagonist. These villains need to check their sources better.